Armchair commanders, we call the shots. From our living room thrones where the action's hot. We're the generals of fiction, the masters of war. In silver screen battles with buttered popcorn. Armchair commanders, armchair commanders.
All right, welcome to the Armchair Commanders podcast. My name is John.
And I'm Jack.
And this week, we are returning to a Studio Ghibli classic, Princess Mononoke, a la Jack's recommendation.
The Navy game, haha, fuck you.
Yeah, I know.
Just gotta remind you.
Two more movies. Also, Papillon's not a war movie. Go fuck yourself.
First off, it's Papillon, and second off, fuck you.
Don't get mad with me. Get mad with Google AI. It said it wasn't a war movie.
Well, fuck, AI isn't a person. The person that recommended this to me very much is a person.
Okay, well, that person doesn't know what a war movie is.
Well, fuck you, because I say it's kind of a war movie, maybe. I say this as someone who's never seen it before.
Okay. You read the plot of it, and you tell me how it's a war movie.
Because I want it to be. Dummy.
Okay. So, what made you go with this for this week's choice?
Well, I saw it for the first time back in 2017 when I was on a Ghibli kick. For whatever reason, I didn't see the last part of it. And then, like a month and a half or so ago, Frank showed up unexpectedly at my house with his son, and we thought, you know what, let's just have a movie day. It was like 2 p.m. he showed up, so we just put this on, watched it, thought it was good. Rewatched it last night at like 2, 3 a.m. with a buddy.
How'd that go?
Fantastic. Played some backyard baseball while watching it.
Was it as good as you remember it being?
Yeah. Yes. Well, let's hear what you thought of it then.
I liked it. I wasn't. So here's the thing. I only read like a 2 or 3 sentence synopsis of it, and going into it, I genuinely wasn't sure what I was going to think of it, because generally speaking, I do enjoy Studio Ghibli work, but you know, there are some Studio Ghibli works that can be a little out there even if you're into them. So,
like Porco Rosso?
A little bit, yeah. Or like, I know this is going to sound like heresy, but I don't care for Spirited Away.
Huh. Why is that?
It's kind of just boring to me.
I like it. First animated movie to win Best Picture, right? If I'm not mistaken. I know it was like when Best Animated Feature at the Oscars was first introduced, that was the winner.
It did win Best Animated Feature. It did not win just Best Movie, though. But yeah, I mean, the other part of it too is I did know, contrary to what I usually do for this show, I didn't do any research for this movie, and I kind of just went into it blind. So the part of it that is, like, take the setting for example. So this is supposed to be medieval Japan, like 13th, 14th century. It's a cool setting. I greatly appreciate it, but also I know fuck all about, medieval Japanese history other than samurai,
Yeah.
Like, I think that's a pretty common thing with Western viewers, is like, you might know a couple of the highlights of, like, samurai history and whatnot, but generally speaking, that's not It's not really taught in our schools. And the other part of it too is that like the a lot of the symbolic or kind of this is supposed to be historical fantasy, so the historical setting side of it is set in a time frame that like a Western viewer is not generally very well acquainted with. But then also the fantasy side of it plays into a lot of spiritual things doing with Japanese culture, like in Shintoism and stuff, which again I I know of, but I don't know fuck all about Shintoism either. So like it's one of those. I felt torn because I felt as though I had a good viewing experience just going into it blind, and I think a person just going in and watching it for the sake of it being a movie would probably enjoy this. However, I'm curious how much my perception of the film would change had I actually spent like 2 days like getting acquainted with all the elements that are presented in the film.
How about this? Our first ever Armchair Commander's vacation is going to be to Japan, so we learn all about their medieval history.
That sounds expensive.
Sounds fucking fun, though.
Besides, our first Armchair Commander's vacations to fucking Camp Toccoa.
Oh, yeah. I thought that was just a brocation or something.
Por qué no los dos?
Oh, okay, fair. You got me there.
We can turn Mitch into our cameraman.
You know what he could be? Maybe we could, like, convince him to be the third Armchair Commander. The long prophesized third.
Often mentioned, never seen.
Yes, the secret third commander.
It's like the three wise men, except none of us are wise.
The three idiots.
Yeah. The Three Stooges, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
You know what aspect of Studio Ghibli films I do genuinely love is, or at least I like to think of it as a fun game, which is I like to wait until I'm halfway through the movie before I'll Google who the voice actors are.
I bet you had a lot of fun with this one.
Yeah, because in this one, like, there's a couple of times I was like, I know this voice. Why the fuck does this sound? I was like, why does this guy sound like Bender? And then it turns out that like John Maggio is in it.
Yeah, and Billy Crudup, aka Dr. Manhattan from Watchmen, voices the main character.
Or Billy Bob Thornton.
Voices the hunter, yeah.
Fun fact, Billy Bob Thornton made me mad today.
What, did he serve you donkey piss or something?
No. So I'm watching this movie and Miranda like walks in halfway through and she sits down, she watches the rest of the half of the film with me. Usually she does like 10 minutes of a film with me and then does her own thing. And I was like, "Oh, did you know that Billy Bob Thornton's in this?" And she's like, "Oh, he hits me right in the daddy issues." And I'm like, "God." Like I didn't even know that.
Oh my god, that's funny though. And Gillian Anderson, aka Scully from the X-Files, voices the Mama Wolf.
Who do you think Will Smith slapped for Jada Pinkett to get into this?
God damn. She plays the bitchy wife a little bit too well.
I know this is going to sound stupid of me, but like I know Jada Pinkett Smith is like a celebrity in her own right, but when I saw her name, I was like, "Huh, I guess I didn't realize she actually did anything." That she was just like
she was
existed.
she voiced the hippo in Madagascar. What are you talking about?
Did she?
Yeah, Gloria.
Huh.
And also, I don't know if you watched it, but Escape to Africa, Will I Am voiced Moto Moto. The name's so nice, you're going to say it twice. What, you don't believe me and you're looking it up?
well, I just decided to see what other. She's in a lot of shit. What the fuck? She was in The Matrix.
And she's also a bitch.
And The Nutty Professor.
Nope.
Quite a storied film career.
That's one way of putting it.
It is. Wait, Angel Has Fallen. What did she do in Angel Has Fallen? Why am I getting off track on this? Oh, okay, whatever. Is Angel Has Fallen a war movie?
Angel, what was it?
Angel Has Fallen. It's the third in the Olympus Has Fallen series with Gerard Butler.
What? Olympus Has Fallen, London Has Fallen. Fuck it, sure.
Olympus Has Fallen is basically North Korean terrorists attack the White House trying to start World War III.
And then London Has Fallen. What gets attacked in Angel Has Fallen?
Basically, Gerard Butler gets framed for an attempted assassination on the president.
Oh, I thought it'd be. Oh, I thought like Angel Has Fallen would be like terrorists are trying to take over the Vatican or something.
Get you out of here, the Pope.
His Holiness, the Pope Mobile has like a fucking mounted weapon on it. But that would have been a much better story, in my opinion. But no, we're going with a fake assassination attempt. Anyways, this movie's. I love this movie. Also, I can't believe I haven't mentioned it yet, but Keith fucking David voicing like the boar god.
Oh yeah, I forgot that is another Keith David is in this.
I fucking love Keith David. Come on, boys. Won't you shake a poor sinner's hand? He was the bad guy in The Princess and the Frog. Also, a callback to another movie we did. He was King in Platoon.
And he was also in that shitty film we watched.
Which one?
The Field of Lost Shoes.
When was he in that?
He was the slave.
Oh...
The slave in the fucking movie.
Okay, like... Yeah, okay, I deserve that. So, what could he possibly be playing in a black man be playing in a Confederate war movie? G-Jack.
He's the slave that wasn't treated like a slave.
Yeah, he was the baker, wasn't he?
Yes. Anyways, I gotta say, one of my favorite lines in this movie does come from Billy Bob Thornton, and it's when we first get introduced to him. He's just like eating soup in the middle of town, and he's just like making a commentary to the person he bought the soup from. And he's like, "What is this, a bowl of donkey piss or a bowl of soup?"
You get what you paid for.
Well, apparently. What a conniving little scamp was he in this film.
So since you obviously have Google open, can you do something for me?
Sure.
Look up the difference between pyrite and gold.
One's gold and one is fake.
Well, duh, no shit, but how do you tell that with your eye?
Hardness. Pyrite is harder than gold with a Mohs scale rating of 6 to 6.5, while gold is softer with a rating of 2.5 to 3.
Oh, okay. Hence,
pyrite is often cube-shaped and yellowish in color, while gold is usually lumpy and flakes.
Hence why they bite gold. That makes sense.
Yeah. Smell. Pyrite smells like raw eggs.
What does gold smell like?
It doesn't have a smell for gold.
Oh, okay.
Pyrite is magnetic. Gold is not. Yeah, well, that's basically it. Why do you want to know?
Because he buys like a shitload of rice and is like, this should cover it, drops a piece of gold in her lap. And she's like, no, I can't take this.
Shut the
And
fuck up. I take a nugget of gold for some rice.
which, yeah, like that seems like she's being stingy or being an idiot, but it could well be pyrite, right? For to the untrained eye, nose, and mouth. What are those? Your butt beads? You fucking weirdo. Oh, okay. Miranda gave you a pearl necklace, didn't she?
No, this was just in her drawer.
Oh,
For our listeners at home, I use my wife's office for our recording, so I oftentimes go treasure hunting to see what fun things I can find.
that's worth like $1 bajillion. You should definitely take that.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not costume jewelry.
Mm. Yeah, he gets his shitload of rice.
That seems like he massively overpaid for it. Because if you think about it, even in today's market, rice is like $2 for a pound, like $2 or $3 for a pound. And here
Right,
he is
but right,
dropping a nugget of fucking gold.
right. But how much more expensive would it be if it was harder to grow and harvest and during a war?
Mm, I mean that's fair, but I mean something local economies. I don't know.
I don't know. If someone just dropped a piece of gold in my lap, I would just like, yeah, for sure, fucking take it.
I don't know. Maybe if we tried not destroying the environment, we'd have more rice.
You sissy.
I love that. Like, granted, I guess it still holds true today, even with like the way we currently treat the environment and whatnot. But like, anytime I see a movie where it's a like in a, because that's the major beef in this film is it's supposed to be a symbolic between the conflict of man and industrialization versus nature, which I'm here for it. I think it makes for a great storyline and topic of discussion. It's still very relevant today. Um, but every time, like whether it's this movie or fucking Avatar or fucking Captain Planet, it's like anytime the bad person has this great scheme where they're like, I'm going to cut the head off of the forest spirit, or I'm going to destroy the tree that's the center of all living beings on this planet. Like, what possible positive outcome are you expecting from this for you?
Because fuck them, that's what.
Right. Like, we get the villain always gets caught up in the, like, I am the one that's fucking in charge. I will show these fucking hippies what's what.
So
And it always is like, oh no, I cut the head off of the forest spirit. The entire forest died. Like, no shit.
the line of thinking in Avatar, at least, was that there was a huge unobtainium deposit under the tree.
Great. Really,
And
James. I love that, by the way. Like, seriously, James Cameron. Wait, is Avatar a fucking war movie?
yes, it is, technically. Not one
I
I want to
can't wait till
review,
we
but
do that movie so I can shit talk the unobtainium thing. It's like you have
mm,
one of the most expensive films in history, and you couldn't come up with a more not stupid name
it's
than
a
unobtainium.
it's a meme. And it's the trope name for just a sci-fi material that does wondrous shit that's a plot device. Anyway,
I at least respect Marvel because it's like vibranium is like,
it
yeah, we call
vibrates.
it vibranium because it vibrates when it's a fucking hit. Okay, cool, whatever.
Mm-hmm. And where was I going with this shit? Um in this movie, their line of thinking was it's a debt, right? Because they got their weapons shipment. Now they need to pay up. Guy wants a god's head. Okay, it just happens to be the god of the things that have been attacking and killing us this whole time. Win-win for us.
I feel like though there's definitely a difference in like, because going back to it hitting on like Japanese culture and religions, you know, we get these giant wolf creatures and like giant boar like every race of creatures are like 17 times bigger than they ought to be. Like boars are the size of fucking buffaloes in this movie. Um,
Magic.
but they're referred to as gods, and I'm cool with that. But like, let's say you take out the wolves and the boars, who are your primary enemies. You still need like you didn't build your fucking fortress town called Ironville or whatever,
Yeah.
or was it Irontown? I don't. It was something very plain. But you didn't build your fortress out of iron. You built it out of fucking trees. The trees came from where? The goddamn forest. So you still need lumber as a resource. Like, so why kill the forest god? I can almost wrap my head around killing every other god because they're actively attacking you, but like the forest god kind of just exists.
Yeah. He's just vibing, being a human-faced deer person.
Looking weird as fuck.
Yeah, just
Curing injuries that shouldn't be curable. Like, I love the fact that our main character, how do you say his name?
Ashitaka.
Ashitaka, yeah. He gets shot, and literally, like, the wound we see him receive, he more or less, like, it would have destroyed his fucking liver. Like, there's no reason he should have lived.
Well, he's just built differently.
Yeah, apparently.
Clearly. He's a
But
badass.
that or I think that's one something I found kind of funny in this movie is how over the top the injuries were. So like
I knew this was going to come up eventually.
so like he draws his bow like during a samurai attack and domes a samurai in the head with an arrow and it completely fucking decapitates him. And I'm just like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like
Yeah, and like the first time we're supposed to be shown the power of his demon arm, he fucking takes the two arms off the guy holding the sword, and he didn't even hit the guy. He hit the sword and it pinned it to the fucking tree. Like, I know that was supposed to be an oh shit moment with the whole demon arm, but it was just so ridiculous.
or take like San, like they shoot at her and like she takes a bullet to the face, but like her face mask somehow magically like it just like fractures her face mask and she's fine.
Yeah, conks her out though.
I did laugh because we did see kind of like a stereotypical anime thing happen in this, which is like we need to incapacitate somebody, so we're just going to punch them really hard in the gut and they pass out.
Yeah, the fucking knockout gut punch. It's almost as bad as the knockout neck chop anime strike,
Yeah, like to the back of the head.
where they tank blows from superpowered celestial beings, but like a tap from their homies on the back of the neck or a hit in the gut just completely knocks them out for as long as the plot needs them to be.
Yeah, never mind. You know, like I said, never mind this dude getting his fucking liver shot out from him. But as soon as this chick takes a gut punch, he's just done.
Done. Man, yeah, and he knocks out both the main characters too.
I gotta say, being him seems like an unenviable position because he's like
He has magical arm cancer.
he has magical arm cancer, but also he's like the epitome of being a fence sitter.
I mean, yeah, kind of, but the thing about this movie is that most, if not all sides, kind of have a point. Like, yeah, it's bad that the villain's trying to kill the literal god of the forest, but at the same time, she freed the girls from a lifetime of servitude in the brothels, and the guys to a lesser but still present extent. Like, she
Well,
fucking
also
carved.
like accepting lepers and whatnot.
Yeah, and she accepted the lepers and forged her own little society in the fucking wilderness while beset on all sides by enemies. Fucking innovated firearms. Yes, she's a bit pragmatic and cold, but that's how you get shit done. Like, yeah, like, oh, they're dead. Let's just continue. They went over a fucking cliff. Like, there's no getting them,
Yeah,
especially when you're attacked by supernatural wolves.
I'm
They're
not mad
dead.
about it.
They knew what they were getting into. And then
I did like
that's,
the fact that they put a good amount of thought into the actual castle design into this fortress of Irontown.
yeah, it's stout wood place with like murder holes and
Has
ramparts,
like an inner
watchtowers.
wall, and
Yeah,
there is
a
no war in Ba Sing Se.
big ass gate.
That gate needs at least 10 men to move it. My
While,
arm cancer can move it.
yeah, his fucking demon arm cancer moves it while he has a hole blown through him.
Apparently the like villager group he came from is an actual it was an actual ethnic group from like early Japanese history. So that was a little fun thing that I learned out of this.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, so the group he came from, God, what the fuck was it called? Emishi, also called Ebisu or Izo. Huh. Ebisu is the name of a Naruto character.
It all ties back to Naruto, doesn't it?
It always does. Um, so yeah, the Amishi lived around 700 AD. And they were referred to as hairy people.
Okay, that sounds racist, but continue.
They had it basically, they didn't have like the original Japanese, but their language impacted what we know as modern Japanese today. Because apparently, they're like this was their group predated the whole like Emperor of Japan thing. Apparently,
Really?
yeah. And the reason that they disappeared is because of the Emperor.
That makes sense with the anti-imperialism tones of this movie.
Huh. Apparently, they're very similar to what we would consider to be um, like a ninja society
Cool.
because
Like Naruto.
they practice guerrilla warfare a lot before being wiped out.
Yeah, speaking of guerrilla warfare, what'd you think about the monkey spirits in this movie?
I gotta say, ever since we've watched Planet of the Apes, anytime I see a monkey now,
Monkey, monkey.
that's exactly what I think. So in the middle of watching this movie, I'm like, this is a good movie. Monkey, monkey, monkey. So I don't know. The ape people seemed kind of like a not necessary add-in because they don't really take other than being like, let us eat him, and they're like, no, and then that's all their involvement in this movie is.
They appear again towards the battle scene. We're like, you brought war to forest. Humans now kill us. Blah blah blah. They talk like the Incredible Hulk.
I must have missed it.
Yeah, it was that scene where the hunters come back with the creepy ass boar skins, and Keith David's boar god is like, "My soldiers returned from the dead to save me," and she's like, "No, you're an idiot," and then he starts becoming a demon.
I found it. I found it like a little cliche or kind of boring, and the fact that in this movie, like
Hmm.
becoming a demon just is a matter of how much hatred you have in your heart.
Yeah, I remember that time that I got shot and then became a demon
No,
because it didn't fucking happen. Probably, I would have died.
like the war. This is the first time I want to say we have a war on hate in this podcast. But like that, our character doesn't really care about one side or the other. He's just like, "Stop it, guys! Can't we all just get along?
No.
Hatred will one day consume me and kill me. I thought it was arm cancer. I'm sorry." Also, these people must not really understand the concept of hatred, because like, take San. She literally says, "I hate the humans. I hate what they've done. I could never love him because of him being human." And then 3 seconds later, one of her wolf pals walks up to her because he gave the wolf like a necklace. Is like, "Give this to her for me." And so like this wolf gives her this necklace on his behalf, and she's like, "Oh, it's so pretty." And then like she immediately like wears it and goes to like fucking save him.
Women, am I right, fellas?
Like, it's so fucking stupid and very degrading. Like Son is a strong, independent woman who doesn't need no fucking cancer arm guy. Okay.
They don't even end up together at the end. They're just like, "Oh, you're pretty tight and all, but you're a human, so fuck off." Oh, but I'll come visit you.
Essentially, that's essentially what it is. It's like, yeah, I know we can't be like together or anything, but like we can have a booty call every now and again.
And keep it casual.
And don't worry about. I don't overthink this. Like, I still want to be friends and I'll visit you, but I'm going to hang out in the town full of former prostitutes. Okay.
Cool.
They said I look gorgeous. That has no impact on my decision in hanging out with them.
Also, more than a couple of them are widows. Just thought I'd put that out there.
Also, they have low cut kimonos. So,
How can
you
I
know,
resist?
Wolf Girl, town full of hoes.
I'm sorry, got to go quantity over quality with this one. But I I almost mentioned it earlier, but that scene where that samurai fires an arrow at him, he fucking catches it and fires it back at that guy. If you don't think that's the tightest shit you've ever seen, get out of my face.
That was pretty good.
I don't even know how much of that was his demon arm. I think he just fucks that hard.
Well, that's the same scene where the guy gets decapitated by an arrow too, because he like two samurai come rolling up after he's already murked two, and he's like, "Stay back," and they keep charging him, and then he fucking decapitates one with an arrow, and the other guy's like, "Oh, peace out."
Oh yeah, later.
What did you think of the environmental undertones of this film?
I knew I went in expecting it. Like I knew exactly what I was going to get. Not because I've seen this movie before, no, but because it's a Miyazaki movie and his work is all about that shit. Anti-war and pro-environmentalism, like a damn hippie.
Fucking hippie.
His Howl's Moving Castle, another war movie, is very anti-war. Um what the, Nausicaa and the Valley of the Wind, very great movie. Again, another war movie that's anti-war and pro-environment. Spirited Away, not a war movie, but yeah.
Barefoot again might be a war movie. Who knows?
Well, he gets his fucking hometown dropped a nuke on in a war, so let's just give him this, you know?
Here's what I'll say. I think that Princess Mononoke is much more of a war movie than Porco Rosso was. Like, I think Porco Rosso is a war movie. I just think we had to reach a little bit in our explanation of why that one is. Like this one, I have no qualms whatsoever saying it's a war movie. Like it's a surface war movie because it's man versus nature and man versus man, but it's also like a symbolic war movie of like environmentalism and all that shit.
Yeah. Man, what a fantastic movie, though. One thing that I'm confused about is, remember, like, the fact that the supreme god of the forest, was brought down by 2 musket shots.
Yeah, you think the god of the forest or god of life and death would have a little more resiliency to him.
Be a bit more robust. Then, you know, have you ever heard the saying, Mother Nature, please meet Father Industrialism?
Although I do appreciate the take on this that gods are not like these immortal beings. Like in the context of this movie, gods are just ultra like they live a super long time and are just ultra powerful, but they're not infallible or like unkillable or unreachable, if you will.
Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of kind of like Wrath of the Titans or Clash of the Titans, the two different movies, but in that they posit that like the Greek gods are also like semi mortal, if you will.
Yeah, even immortals fear death, as God of War's tagline told me.
I liked the premise of that movie because it's like, if people stop believing in us, then we will stop being real. And I'm like, huh, it's an interesting take on it.
Very interesting. How many gods have we forgotten throughout time?
Oh, probably a lot. Could you imagine if that system was true? Like, imagine some like Mesopotamian god that was lost for like thousands of years, but then was rediscovered. Does that mean they get like reborn then in the afterlife?
Yep.
I know this
That's
kind of like a meta discussion, but
that's my belief. Welcome back, ancient Sumerian god of death.
guys,
Man,
I'm going to really need you to forget about him. He's kind of a pain in the ass.
God, imagine like figuring out about this long lost Sumerian god of life and rebirth, and then failing to notice the fine print and seeing that his domain also includes diseases and starting worshiping him in, say, November of 2019. And then he seeks to remind us of his power.
Going out with a bang.
Yeah, coming back with a bang, man. Coming back with a cough. And they like put the god's head in that sealed iron tub, and the tub fills with water for some reason. Magic.
Don't think about it. Probably spirit juices.
You. Don't fucking say that.
Spirit juices?
No. No.
Oh, I'm just going to text it to you random days now.
Okay, fine.
Spirit juices.
Spirit juices. ASMR it.
Spirit juices.
Uh,
Wait, let me do this right.
no.
Spirit juices.
Oh, God. You know how much I hate ASMR. It's creepy.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what's also creepy?
Me?
No.
I don't know what.
Fucking. Did Billy Bob Thornton's shoes bother you at all in this movie?
Nope, they seemed on brand. They seemed like the exact shoes that he would wear in real life to me.
How the fuck are you rocking those?
Takes a lot of practice.
It's literally like two 2x4s that are shaped in the letter of a capital T.
Have you ever walked in high heels before?
That makes more sense because you have 2 points of contact.
Well, yeah, but
This is
yeah.
one in the middle of your foot.
Well, see, my line of thinking was they're both footwear that you either need to be naturally good at walking, like me, or have practice in walking in them. Bro, I fucking killed. I fucking slayed the one time I wore high heels.
As Jack the Stripper.
They made my ass look amazing.
You never
I mean, it already looks
picture of your ass.
it already looks juicy and fuckable, but like the booty shorts and the high heels really brought it home. Anyway,
I was going to say, you know what I have as your, like, the photo and your contact in my phone?
Jack the Stripper.
That's right.
Hell yeah. You want to know what I have as yours? Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
What's mine?
Nothing, because I forgot to put it in. But you're still a Jonathan Generalissimo dry paddle in my phone. My God, that's like one of my favorite early college stories to tell people.
When I was the leader of China Zambia.
Yep, and how I was your second in command and director of re-education and extermination. But yeah, and I also like to end off that story with, oh, by the way, did I mention that he's a fucking government employee now and a high-ranking one at that?
Okay, I'm not a high-ranking government employee, but let's take it easy.
You are compared to me.
I do have the ability to tell some people no on things. Isn't that all we ever want in our life is the ability to tell people to go fuck themselves sometimes?
Oh, absolutely.
That is one perk of my government job is I do get to tell people to shut the fuck up.
Just tell them all to fuck off.
It's very rarely that I have to do that, but when I do, it is authoritative.
Authorita. Do they respect your authorita?
Nobody respects government employees.
Huh. Apparently, Tara Strong voiced Ashitaka's little sister. But again, they're only in like the beginning, so.
Take this so you won't forget me.
Yep. You got magical arm cancer. Fuck off. You threw your life away defending our village, and we thank you by banishing you.
Also, you must cut your top knot off. So, double whammy on the disrespect.
Yeah, fuck you, dude. You wouldn't banish me now, would you?
It depends. Does honor dictate it?
Dictate this dick.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what they say about honor, right?
It's spelled with 2 O's.
No. You know, But before I lead into this, what are you drinking tonight?
I filled sober October.
It's
So
sober October is sober October for you. I'm sorry, but anyway,
so I'm drinking some hard lemonade.
hell yeah. I'm just rocking the Bud Light and whiskey combo because clearly I'm high class. But also, I have some really shitty tasting wine with me. It's let me what the hell is this? Choke cherry medley, 92% choke cherry wine and 8% elderberry wine. It smells like vomit and doesn't taste much better. But I'm gonna take a swig of that.
We're not sponsored by them, but
And I don't want to be. I just thought, mixed berry wine. Mixed berry is one of my favorite flavors. Not. Anyway, so anyway, I'd like to have a drinking prayer in the name of honor. So raise your glass and say, "Here's to honor.
here's to honor.
Here's to honor. Hitting honor, getting honor. And if she won't let you come in her, come in honor."
That was awful.
But you're drinking to it.
I mean, it's disrespectful not to drink to a toast.
I agree, absolutely. Well, let's hear your favorite drinking toast since you're Mr. Politically Correct. You fucking hippie.
I don't have drinking toast.
Ooh. What, you think you're better than me?
No, I just drink alone, so who am I going to toast?
Me.
Here's to Jack.
You're damn right, here's to Jack. I'm not gonna drink to that because fuck me.
I think.
Yeah, was it?
Or,
So I know rice is like in and of itself boring as fuck, right?
for a second, I thought you said race, and I'm like, there's a lot of people that would disagree with you on that, but
no, racist. No, I'm just saying.
Don't call me fucking racist.
Well, anyway, rice, like, yes, it's an important staple food for billions of people. We know this, but it's also kind of boring, right?
I mean, can be bland, yes.
It's like the definition of boring but practical, right? It's kind of bland, but
it makes for a good base when you're making other stuff.
I was getting to that. It's bland, it's boring, it's a bitch to grow, but once you figure out how to grow, you can make a fuckload of it, and it's nutritionally dense, and it goes with goddamn near everything. So, where I was going with this is, was it just me, or did the rice in this movie look very, very good?
I guess I wasn't paying attention. Usually rice in animated productions looks kind of like porridge to me.
Well, yes, but I thought it looked just delectable.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but
when he doesn't automatically agree with you.
Studio Ghibli is just really good at animating foods, for as weird as that sounds.
Except for jerky in this, which brings me...
Oh, don't act like you wouldn't eat it out of her mouth.
I wouldn't.
Pussy.
That grossed the fuck out of me.
So,
today's episode is brought to you by the rating system.
Yeah, we're talking about that scene in the movie where she just whips out some strips of, begging strips, and like chews them up for someone.
Well, first she just shoves the food into his mouth. Is like, chew it, but he's still like dying.
But then she chews it up and Hawk chews it into his mouth.
Baby birds it.
Yeah, baby birds it. Which, yes, that's disgusting. But reminder that used to be a chore back in the old days for old people with shitty teeth. They used to have someone in the family, usually a child, chew it up and spit it out for them.
Gross.
So that's what I think about when people romanticize the past. Good dental work, like really good dental work, is fairly recent.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, rating this film on a
You're damn
measure
right.
of 1 to 5 strips of Haktua jerky.
Five strips. 10 out of 10 would eat it out of San's mouth. Well, okay, to be specific, Claire Danes' mouth.
I give this a 4.5. I think it's a very good film. I greatly enjoyed it. I think the only thing that takes it down a notch is the fact that, like, to fully appreciate this film, you do have to do some research. So for that, I dock it its points. Like, I think a perfect film, you should be able to go into it and understand it, like, point blank.
And we're Americans. We don't give a shit about other cultures. We don't want to learn. We just want to watch wolves attack people
I
and
do care about
failers
other
shoot other
cultures.
people.
I'm just saying that the average person is probably not going to be acquainted with 13th century Japanese history, okay?
What do I look like? A future history expert?
Okay.
Anyway, all right, fucking ace. And this time I actually do have it pulled up, so let's go. The tomometer is 93%, and the popcorn meter, I read that as porn meter. The audience meter is 94%. I got to go with the audience on this one. This is a stellar movie.
Yeah, I'm not mad. I'm not mad with either of those metrics. I think it's where it
What
ought to be.
one final thing. I really like the sense of morality in this movie. Like the designated villains of this movie kind of do have points. I think the most evil one is the hunter that actively knew what he was doing but chose to do it anyway. But even he was kind of redeemed at the end. And Lady Ibashi, magnificent fucking bitch, expert cunt laugh that she has. And but she's also making technological strides and she does care about her people. Like I said before, yes, she is cold and pragmatic, but you kind of have to be as a leader now, don't you? Especially when people's lives are on the line. Yeah, you got to be
On the
the
setting, but I would generally agree with that.
you got to be the one to make tough calls. And she does. And she still manages to crack jokes after her arm got fucking taken off by a wolf's head.
I was a little disappointed she didn't die at the end.
Well, I'm not. I'm kind of glad she got humbled and became a slightly less cold leader. And how what's his face Ashitaka stayed with Irontown at the end. I feel like he could very well have returned to his village. Like, hey, I don't have cancer anymore. Are you guys cool with me? But
I
no, he chose
completed
to
my
move
quest.
on.
Also, look at my baby bird girlfriend.
Yeah, she spits food into my mouth when I want her to.
She thinks she's a wolf. Just go with it.
Yeah, it's fine. It's weird, I know, but if she wants to be a furry,
Look, this is 13th century Japan. We don't judge people based on their personas, okay?
we're progressive.
She wants to be called fur self, okay? Fox self,
Yeah,
wolf self. That's right, wolf self.
but furry jokes aside, I think that's all I wanted to say was the just pointing out the morality and what I liked about how the people were portrayed in this. So, have you got anything else?
Off topic, but still related to furries.
Every fucking episode with you.
I saw this Reddit post the other day that was
Oh
like,
God.
you know who would totally be down with furries? The fucking Roman Empire.
Oh, totally.
Like,
The senators would totally rock that shit.
like Caligula absolutely would have had a fursona.
You think he would have been a wolf or a fox persona?
I think probably wolf.
I don't know. Yeah, I can see that, I guess, but I don't think he was big or hairy enough to have a bear persona. But
No way.
again,
It was the Roman Empire would have loved the internet because it was like this emperor would have loved Excel and this emperor would have loved going on Reddit to just like look at fucking philosophy and shit. And then somebody brought up like Caligula absolutely would have been a furry.
So I don't remember his name, but there was a Roman emperor that invented what was basically a whoopee cushion and would always prank his imperial guests by putting that under their chair covers when they sat down for a dinner. And he was notoriously played a lot of pranks on both his Praetorian guard and like staff workers at his palace. So unsurprisingly, he was assassinated fairly early on in his reign. But he would have been a god tier shit poster. Like, oh my god.
I love the fact that it's like, I'm going to play jokes on the Praetorian Guard. The guy who is a group of guys who has assassinated every single one of my predecessors.
Notoriously shit sense of humor as well.
I looked it up. It's Roman Emperor Elagabalus.
Gesundheit. Elagabalus, eh? He would have been the amazing shit poster. It would have made the best memes. Fucking idiot, yes, but that's what makes it funnier.
So, next week we have Shane Stevenson returning from the Buffalo Military Park to discuss a film that is adjacent to one of the ships that he oversees. So that'll be exciting.
Hell yeah.
What movie do you want after him? Because I still have 2 more fucking movies to deal with from you.
Oh, me. Overlord.
The zombie one?
Hell yeah, the zombie one. It's spooky month, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that should be this. Yeah, I think it would come out the week of Halloween if I have my timing right.
Hell yeah, dude. Let's do Overlord.
All right.
Overlord. Overlord.
Zombie movie Saturday.
Zombie Zooby Saturday. Well, anyway, that's all I got.
Okay. Well, if you enjoyed this episode, please review. The stars do matter. If you want additional content from us, you can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Discord, TikTok, all those places. Until next week, I've been John.
And I'm Jack.
We'll catch you all later.
Bye.